A lot of money there. No doubt continued help is needed, but is it too late? The budget papers are finished and have been signed off on.
Well, look, I think this is less about the budget and ongoing support for the industry. I mean, in fact, this budget was probably decided months and months ago at a time when we thought we had a vaccination strategy that was going to work quite differently. So therefore, really what we're looking at is a need for government to refresh its attitude to what this industry is going to need off the back of continuing border uncertainty.
How did you come to those figures?
Well, essentially, the subsidy piece, and I know the federal government said, JobKeeper's gone, but nevertheless, for those businesses that are major exposed to international visitation, so we're talking about businesses that have probably got 70% of their revenue comes from international visitors. When you actually strip down the industry to that group, they also will have lost more than 50% of their normal revenue since this time in 2019. So it's a relatively smaller sector of the tourism economy, but nevertheless a vital one because it includes accommodation, it includes attractions, et cetera, and to be honest, we'll be lucky if many of those businesses survive over the next 12 months without some form of stronger support.
There seems to be, as you just mentioned already, Margy, a little confusion about when international borders are going to be opened up again. The government now suggesting that it's not going to be until the second half of next year before international borders open up in any significant way. What is that doing for business confidence, particularly in the tourism sector?
Well, look, it's a tragedy, really. I mean, essentially, for those businesses who are able to move into the domestic space, that's great. And they are seeing an uptick in business. But the best description of that is that it's a bit patchy. So places you'd expect to do well, like the Sunshine Coast or the Gold Coast or maybe Byron Bay, etc., yes, they are doing well. But anywhere that's internationally exposed, far north Queensland, the major capital cities, they're feeling the pain and have got the double whammy of not getting any business travel either. So this ongoing game of sort of border roulette where we don't know what the date is for an international opening and we don't have a confirmed calendar is creating a whole range of problems. I mean, very early on in this process, there was a vaccination strategy and the industry was, had worked up a proposal around what opening under those circumstances should look like. And now we don't have that luxury anymore. And I do think it's absolutely overdue for the National Cabinet and the federal government to give the industry a timetable.
So what sort of timetable would you be hoping for? I mean, bearing in mind that it's hard to be so certain in these times when they are so uncertain. India is the latest example.
Absolutely. But then again, look at the UK. If we'd been talking about the UK 6 months ago, we would have said, oh, gosh, look at that. Well, now, of course, they're running the most successful vaccination strategy in the world and essentially have already put out their list of safe international destinations for their citizens to travel to, and Australia is at the top of that list. I don't think anyone's disputing that the health issues have to be the number one priority at every turn. We get that. That makes sense. But we need some dates. And other countries have been able to say that they will be opening at particular times. It comes down to this issue of managing the risk, not treating it as an ongoing emergency.